American Knitter is a Okay, so now let's get to this part here. We have put 25 stitches of yarn on, and so this will make the brim of the cap the brim of this sock. So my webcam's kind of freaking out. Let's see if I can go ahead and fix that as we wait for new viewers. Okay, so we are going to set the focus on infinite, and it looks really green. That might be a little bit better. Hello, welcome. We just started. We're going to be doing the second part of the stocking. Just setting up the camera right now. And you should be able to chat. Just let me know if you have any questions on this. So here I put 25 stitches or 25 rows of yarn on the loom, and we are going to make the brim of the stocking. And so to do that, the next part we're going to do is bring the first loops of yarn up and over each peg as we go all the way around. So the loop that we're doing is actually the loop that's between the two pegs. It's not directly behind each peg. So this is what I mean when I say loop. So hopefully this is the second time I've done the Google Hangout. The first time was kind of a test. So if you're watching this, if you want to just put something in the group chat window, just say hi, just so I know that this is working. Hopefully you can make a comment or something. But we're going to go ahead and bring these loops up and over. And you don't want to get it too twisted, so we're going to use this one right here. If I can keep track of it, right here. It's kind of a, and we're going to bring this up and over the first peg. And we're going to go all the way around the loom. So this loom we're going to be using, or this project, we've got white yarn for the top. It's kind of going to be a classic looking stocking. And if you have big thick fingers like me, you can just use the hook tool to wrap the yarn over each peg. So welcome. I see there's about 6 people viewing this. I don't know if you speak English. I think most of the subscribers do speak English, but if you could just leave a comment in the chat window to let me know that it's working. And if this turns out to be successful, I'll have some giveaways. I've got some yarn and things I can mail you. So let's see. I'm just going to bring up a window on the... Okay, so I'm going to type in a thing, and you see this. Okay, so if you could type and reply to that, that would help me out to know how all of this is working. So I typed in the chat window there. Can you see this? So if somebody will reply. But anyway, we're just bringing up each loop of yarn up and over each peg, and then we're going to bring in the red, kind of the main body. And then the little patch on the heel, we're going to use green yarn. And it's pretty simple to do once you know how to make the heel. So here we go. So I used the Google Hangouts the first time directly from Google Hangout. So now I have all of the loops of yarn, 3 loops of yarn around each peg. And so the third loop is actually bringing the process of bringing the first loop back up over. So that's this loop right there. So now we're going to secure it by bringing the bottom row of yarn up and over the top, just like that. And nobody has replied to my "can you see this?" So I'm thinking there's still a little bit of a problem with the chat interface thing. Hopefully somebody will reply. So this is securing the top portion of the stocking. And then we're coming up to the first peg again. Once we get there, I'm going to change to red. Okay, so there we have it. We'll bring this down. And it's always kind of hard to tell what it looks like on the loom because it's kind of stretched, but this will be a decent sized stocking. You can use a bigger loom if you want. That's always an option, but I didn't want to make a giant one. So now we're going to be bringing in this red yarn. And to do that, it's very easy. I'm just going to be cutting off enough yarn to tie on a new color. Now there's some people who do a very precise job of where their yarn starts and stops. I don't worry too much about it. You just want to make sure you get a good square knot on there. Or to quote Bear Grylls, if you don't know how to tie knots, tie lots. I like that. I thought that was funny. I was a Boy Scout, and I hated tying knots. There's a few that I know really well, but there's a lot of knots out there. So anyway, if you don't know how to tie knots, tie lots. So anyway, what we're going to be doing here is we are going to be adding about 30 to 40 rows of red, and then we will get to the heel. I'll find my pick tool. So nobody's replied to my question of "can you see this?" There's a group chat window here that I see, and I don't see anybody commenting. I'll put a smiley face emoji. If anybody can see that, just reply to it. Because I'm doing this so we can have some interaction. So let me know somehow if you can reply, or let me know, contact me via YouTube. Send me a message whether or not you can get a hold of me, because I'd really like to be able to interact with people here. So right now I'm just going through some of the options on this thing. It should even let you bring in a webcam if you're brave enough. Okay. Well, it's not making any options other than this group chat here. So hopefully somebody will reply and let me know if they can, or maybe you all just want to sit and watch. Oh, so anyway, I have the red, the new color. Now it's time to pick the bottom row up and over. Now I'm doing a full HD video. This is webcam video that you're watching, but I'm also filming this at the same time with a nice camera, after which I'm going to do a narrated kind of clean edit version. It'll be a lot shorter, I'll cut out all the extra cut out all of the extra stuff, you know, the in between, so it'll go a lot faster. But this I wanted to do, see if I could answer any questions that you have, but it's kind of not working if nobody's asking questions. So anyway, I'm going to be adding about 30 rows of yarn, and I'll see how it is. I might go longer just because, you know, Christmas stockings are typically exaggerated, or at least more like soccer knee-high socks than tiny little socks. You got to fit in all the presents. Okay, so here we go. Got the first row of red on. Now I'm going to be going to the other, or going to add some more red. Okay, and then we'll just wrap off on this peg here. So you can see that there's still white on these pegs. And it's going to be slightly off on the first few pegs just because we tied on the yarn. And so there was like a slight length past the white, if that makes sense. I don't think that made sense at all, but I didn't start the red yarn exactly on the first peg is what I'm saying. If you want to spend your time to get it that way, you're welcome to. I don't think many people are going to notice. So as you can see, this was still the white yarn that was on the knot. There's the knot right there. But it's not going to be that noticeable. You probably would if you nitpicked, quite literally. Okay, now I'm gonna here. I really want to know. So if somebody could send just a message through the YouTube channel, I'll check and see if there's any messages saying that you're trying to communicate and you can't. So I'm just going to bring that window up. So please bear with me. Okay. All right, well, I don't see any messages from anyone. So on the YouTube channel, but let's go ahead and get back to the project. I think they're trying to work out all of the kinks that they have. So here we go. Row number 2, or what is this? Row number 3 of the red. So when you're counting your rows, don't count these first rows if you're trying to count how many red you put on. Start somewhere in the middle, because wherever you tied off, you're going to be off 1 row. Not that it really matters. This is a Christmas stocking. This isn't, you know, it's not going to fit somebody. Well, you could wear these, but it's not what it's designed for. And 1 stitch, 1 row is not going to matter too much. So here we go. We are going to be wrapping and picking for the next 40, 30 rows, whatever looks accurate, and then we'll do the heel. And I'm waiting for someone to reply. Got to figure that out, because that's kind of the whole purpose, other than hearing me drone on. But I want to be able to interact with people. We can even just talk about your plans for Christmas if you want. What got you into round loom knitting? Okay, and this video looks kind of green. The wood is actually quite reddish, a warm red brown, not a yellow, green brown. All right, here we go again. Wrapping and picking. We're going to do this whole section. Now I may cut out, especially if I'm unable to get somebody to communicate so that we can show if this is working or not. Maybe I have to wait for people to join before I start. I don't know. I'll have to read more about how to do these live streaming events. If I can really get it going, then I'll have giveaways. I've got a whole bunch of yarn and looms and tools that I would love to give away. I already gave away a skein of yarn and a couple pick tools. Got some nice yarn too, some wool yarn, not just the synthetic stuff. Maybe I should do a phone line. That might be funny or fun. Come get homespun wisdom or whatever. All right, I seem to, between every row, I seem to want to check. So I'm going to, again, check and see. Okay, so we'll put this right there. Set that there for a minute. I'm just waiting for someone to communicate with me here. Let's see, I got 2 viewers at the moment. And comment tracker, add sources. Okay, so forgive me for learning on all of this. I'm just trying to get this going. Oh, that's weird. It's reversed. I don't know if you can see that that's reversed or not. But anybody who can figure out how to send me a chat message, please do. There's a group chat window, but it's not letting anyone comment, apparently. All right, we're going to update something here. Oh, okay, well, if you can figure out how to chat, that would be very nice. Because it's not letting any of that happen. Even if you have a webcam or an audio thing, if you want to try and get that to work along with what we're doing here, that would be very helpful. Sorry, let's get back to it here. So this is just going to be kind of monotonous on this section. We'll just go ahead and wrap another row. And there's nothing special about the yarn that I'm using for this. It's just kind of the cheap yarn from the craft store. 4-ply worsted weight polyester yarn. Although I've noticed some of them have a very soft texture and some of them can be quite rough. This one's actually soft. Now the pick tool that I'm using is actually a dental hook. Okay, well, we'll add another row here. Wrapping each peg counterclockwise as we work around the loom in a clockwise fashion, in a clockwise manner. And there we, oops. Okay, we'll go ahead and pick. So thank you. I noticed that there's a constant stream of at least 3 to 4 viewers, sometimes up to 6. I think at one point there was 12 viewers, but again, I don't know why it's not letting me have an option to communicate with you, to chat. Unless you're all watching on mobile devices, I don't think it works. That way you may have to be on a computer, not a phone. Or an iPad. I don't know if it works on the iPad to chat. And here we go, all the way around the loom. So working on the small loom, if you can come up with projects for the small loom, they go a lot faster than obviously a loom with twice as many pegs. Oh, it looks like somebody sent a message here on the YouTube window, so I'm going to go ahead and open that. Okay. Can't see what you're chatting from Gracie Pinheiro, and the live video comments is disabled for this video. Okay. All right, so Granny Lala and somebody right in the middle. Oh, okay, let's see, newest first. On your live feed, it says comments are disabled for this video. It's not supposed to be. That's from Gracie. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you, Granny. Let me see if I can add that as an option. Okay. Forgive me again. We're just working out all of the kinks. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I might have to cancel this and then start a new one. Wait a minute. I've got a new. Yeah, I might have to do that. So we're going to sign off for now. Gracie and Granny, we see each other. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to make it so that you guys can chat with me here. That's kind of the point of a Google Hangout. Oh, hold on. Yeah, so I'm going to start this again. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I want to see if we can get chats going. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we go. It's working. It's working. Don't you see what you wrote? I don't see what you wrote. Okay. All right. Well, Gracie and Granny, I'm going to send you a pick tool if you're still there. Thanks for helping me. So send me a message. If you're on my channel, you can click on the About and then send me a message. Hello, Salsera, 1956. So yeah, if you would like to get a pick tool, I'd like to thank you for helping me work this out. Go to the About section of my channel, and there should be an option to send me a message. And I can send you a pick tool. I actually only have this one. This one's my only one. I'm going to try and find a supplier for these. I got this over 10 years ago, but I have some other pick tools that I'll send you. So go ahead and do that, and we will we'll keep going here. And if you have any questions while we're working, just let me know and I can answer you. So thank you all. This is now becoming more worthwhile, I believe. So let's get back to it. We picked off all of the rows. Now I just want to make sure that I can see these as they update. About chat. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm just going to format these windows here. I've got my computer to the side. Okay. So this is the nitty-gritty, but now we're, like I said, I'm going to upload a a polished version of this once it's all done. So here we go again, around the loom. So I'm also curious to know if you wouldn't mind letting me know if this is something that you'd want, a Google Hangout as I work on projects. Eventually we'll get my wife back in doing them. But when is a good time? Evenings, mornings, weekdays. I won't do it on Sunday, but other days, any other days. I'm just wondering when would be a good time. I may experiment unless you guys have suggestions, and I'll start with those first and see. So the same time. So okay, it's around 4:30. It's 5:30 right now for me. So Gracie's vote is right now. So Gracie, where are you from? I'm actually in Utah. I grew up in California, but I'm in Utah. And Granny, where are you from? And Salceda. So you're on here this time of night and later. Okay, it might be later because I've got to get kids in bed and all of that stuff. And then I was wondering, so I knit a lot of these things, and some of them I give to my kids, but I'm guessing you're watching these videos to make them, because I thought, well, should I give away the things I knit? There's a couple of things I made and ended up selling on eBay for, like, if you're looking for some money to make some money while you're doing this, you can make some of the Jane Cobb beanie hats that I made. Those are very popular. I sold the beanie hat for $30. I didn't make it to sell it, but that's what it sold for, and they'd sell quite regularly. If you're looking for some money maker with your talent. Orlando, Florida, from Salceda, and Fuke, Arkansas, and Spring Hill, Florida. Wow, everyone's in Florida. Okay, so this is because it's later in the day. That makes sense. Yeah, I imagine it's a bit warmer where you guys are. You know what's funny though is I've seen, we have DVDs that we sell, and so I'll just plug that while I say this, but I've noticed so many of our customers are in Florida, which shocked me because Florida is so warm. So what's going on, Florida? I mean, why did I get so many customers from Florida for knitting things? I would have been willing to bet money that Michigan and New York would have been better. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, if you want to buy any of our videos as Christmas presents, you could go to our website, americanknitter.com. That would help. Eventually what I want to do is get in touch with a few charities, charities that kind of have a broad, like Salvation Army or the Mormon Church. They have a lot of locations that you could donate to, but I think it'd be cool because there's about 30,000 subscribers. And so if we all kind of got together and made a beanie hat and donated it to, one of those charitable organizations that helps out poor people. That would be so cool, I think, anyway. Okay, started looming this past week. Fook rhymes without Fauk? Fauk? Retired to Florida, so they need hobbies, extra money. And Gracie's originally from Chicago. I send a lot to family. Oh, okay. I've got a friend in Chicago. Well, Naperville. I think it's outside of Chicago. Yeah, I've got a few friends and acquaintances from Chicago. But yeah, I grew up in San Jose, California. All right, here we go again. So I've got kind of a weird setup. Above me, I've got two video cameras that I'm filming with, and then a light directly above me. I hope my fingernails are acceptable. Some of our videos on the channel were done by somebody with some very wild fingernails. Those were our knitting with needles videos, and we've had nothing but complaints. Those were the first videos that we've ever done. That was over 10 years ago, and that was kind of when I was getting started in the instructional video stuff, so I didn't really think about, I wouldn't have picked the fingernails, but this was before I was as outspoken as I am now. I would have definitely said something now, like put smaller fingernails on. They were fake fingernails, but they were pretty darn long. Quite distracting. Oh, okay. I make newborn hats and donate them on the holidays. Wonderful. That's cool. Newborn hats. Yeah, I'll make some. My daughter, this is kind of a sad story, but my daughter made one for a neighbor. She didn't finish it, and the baby passed away. It was awful. But she ended up finishing it, and she wanted to give it away. So yeah, the baby had some conditions, so it wasn't a total surprise. But anyway, that's a great idea. Take them to hospitals. There's a woman here in Utah. She collects wedding dresses that women have, and she makes for the infants that don't make it, the baby girls, she makes white dresses for the funeral. It's sad, but it's really sweet at the same time. So I think that's a great idea. I'm going to contact some hospitals and just kind of figure out what the general process is, so I can tell people when we're doing these videos of where they can go to donate their stuff, if it's not obvious or if they don't already have a place. So yeah, these videos might be 5 o'clock. Usually that's when we have dinner. I'm actually missing dinner right now. My kids are all upstairs. I can hear my wife up there. She made some weird chicken thing that smoked up the whole house. The smoke alarms were going off. It smelled good until it started smoking, but anyway. So I don't know if it's going to be this exact time, but I'll try and plan it so that it's not too late for those of you on the East Coast. I guess we're not going to get too many people from Europe watching right now. Maybe. I don't even know if they sell these. Although we have quite a few subscribers with Arabic names. So I was surprised to see that. Some of the names I couldn't read because they were written in Arabic. That's how I know, but I guess it's popular there, which is surprising. Who'd want a beanie in the Middle East? No, thank you. Although maybe it gets freezing at night. I don't know. I've heard about wedding dresses being made for babies. So sweet. I've always loved crafts and saw looming videos and thought, hey, I can do that. Yes, you can do that. It is. I mean, I kind of fell into this because I started helping a guy. A guy started a company with his wife making wooden looms. He's out of business. Well, he kind of gave it up. He was kind of old. But anyway, he wanted a how-to video, show people how to do this. So I made a video for him, and I said, I tell you what, I'll make the video for free because it would have cost a lot. But I said, you just buy copies from me, but I own the video. And so I made the video for him, and then I started selling the video. This was back in VHS tape days. And I started selling it on the internet, mailing out VHS tapes. And then it became real popular. And so we filmed one with my wife, around Loom video with my wife. And a lot of the comments that we get from that, I feel bad because they say that my wife is, grumpy or kind of cold. Well, they don't know that we just had a baby, and we filmed that at like 1 a.m. Every night we were filming it crazy late. So everyone was tired. So that's why, but now it's midday here, or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're in a bit more of a happy mood. So let's see here. So I'm just kind of going, I don't have a pattern for this. Usually what I do is I make the project and then I come up with the pattern. And so what I'm going to be doing with this is just kind of looking and seeing what looks aesthetically nice. So I'm imagining that the red is going to have to be about at least 2/3 of the length of, not 2/3, so 2 times the length of the white. That at least will look good, and then we'll just keep going from there, seeing how it looks. And then we'll know what looks right. So the first half, this is 25 rows of white, and then I folded it over to make the cuff. And then I'm just going to keep going on the red to see what looks right. Once we take it off, it'll definitely look Christmassy. It's red, white, and green. This is the green that I'm using here. And a beanie burqa. Well, I was thinking of making a yarmulke. I don't know. I don't know if they would want me to make a burqa, a beanie burqa. I doubt any of our Jewish or Muslim friends are watching the Christmas sock. Maybe they are. They're welcome to it. And but yeah, I did think about making a yarmulke. It's kind of an interesting process on here, but you could do it. If you watch, let's see, where did my pick go? If you watch the baskets that I make, like there's an Easter basket and a Halloween basket. It's kind of the same process that I would do for a yarmulke. Don't do it. Just kidding. Yeah, I won't. That's not a big enough market for that. I'll let somebody else do that. I'll let someone with a different channel do that video. But what was I saying? Oh, well, if you're looking for another Christmas project for a Christmas present, I have this peppermint twist beanie hat that I made for my daughter. I ended up making 2 of them. They are so cool. They are so cute looking. It's just red and white, but it spiral twists. So it's on my channel. Look at my videos. That one's pretty easy. It's actually not as hard as maybe it looks. It just gets kind of messy because you're dealing with 2 different colors of yarn at the same time, but you're not cutting any yarn while you're doing it. You just kind of keep wrap 2, skip 2, wrap 2, skip 2, and then offset it as you go up. So that's pretty cool. And we're going to wrap again. So I'm going to do this in parts. I did the brim, the cuff, whatever you want to call it. I did that on a separate Google Hangout the first time I tried to do a Google Hangout. And then I might do a few more rows here because there's so many of just the same thing. And then maybe we'll cut, and then I'll do a separate Hangout for the heel. But like I said, this is going to be another video filmed with a higher resolution camera and all that, and then I'll do a voiceover. So you're not going to hear any of this conversation about burqas and other religious knitting projects in that video. But like I said, put your send me a message in the about. Just go to the channel, youtube.com/American Knitter, and then go to the about, and then send message. Give me your address, and I will send you a pick tool. So someone else in the first video, I think her name was Rochelle, she requested some kind of, anyway, we got on the conversation of what project to do next. So we thought an R2-D2 beanie hat would be cool, but first I'm going to make a BB-8 beanie hat inspired. It's not going to look exactly like the Star Wars robot, but close enough that when you see it, you'll say, hey, that reminds me of Star Wars, the Star Wars robot. So look for that. It's been a while since I've uploaded it and done anything, but I want to keep this going. Eventually, I'd like to have somebody uploading videos and doing streaming all the time. I think that'd be cool, but we're not there yet on the channel. But it does help if you share the videos, like the videos, and comment, because if a video receives engagement, YouTube looks at it and says, oh, people like this video, if there's a comment or a like. So if you find videos on YouTube that you like, you're definitely helping out the people who uploaded them by clicking the share or commenting or liking or all three. I think I'm going to have something to drink while I'm doing this. My throat's getting kind of dry. Here we go again, another row. So I'm curious, has any one of you completed any of the projects that I've done in the videos and the other videos that we have? If you know, that's fine. If you didn't, I'm not going to be upset. And I was considering expanding this beyond knitting, even though the channel is called knitting, but to other craft related things. So I'd be curious to know your opinion. Would you unsubscribe, or do you just want round loom knitting videos? So now I'm going to just count these stitches, see how many rows we've done. I think I'm going to do 30. 30 or 35 sounds right. So here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're about halfway there. Okay. I've completed 2 beanies and an infinity scarf. Well, I didn't do an infinity scarf video. So, Granny Lala, you're watching other YouTube channels. That's okay. There are some good round loom videos out there. Any of the looms. I don't know what you mean by that. So let me know what you mean by any of the looms. So you're just saying upload any loom videos? Okay, so this is row number 17. So I'm definitely thinking 30 is the way to go, and then I will do the heel. Let's see, we're coming up on, it's 5:45. I've been doing this for an hour now. I'll do a few more rows, and then I think it's going to be time to sign off. Yes, upload any loom videos. Okay. I haven't done a long loom video yet. I have a Gru scarf. The guy from that show Despicable Me that's popular with the kids, the little yellow minion things. I did one for Halloween, but I finished it the day on Halloween day, and so I think I'm going to wait to upload that one. Maybe I shouldn't wait, just put it on, and because it's still a neat scarf. It's I think it's like 12 feet long. You don't have to do that yourself. Make it 12 feet long. I did it that long because that's how long he has it in the movie. It's kind of it's just a gray and black stripe pattern. But to get it looking right, you have to know the right number of stitches, and you have to know how long to make it. So that's what that's about. Long looms videos. Okay. Okay, even a rubber band loom handle for my. You put a rubber band loomed handle for your looming hook. That's funny. Long loom videos. Okay. All right, so the next question is, how often? How long do you, would weekly be too much? How long does it take you guys to finish a project? Or should I do it monthly? So, you know, it would be probably more finished looking if I had a month to do one, but, you know, I'm trying to work and get all, you know, provide for my family. So eventually this channel could do it. I just have to do it right. So your feedback would help. So there is a delay, I've noticed, in case you can't tell. I'm not ignoring your comments. Right, yeah, I understood. I understood what you meant, that you made a handle. Okay, here's something to point out. Sometimes when you switch colors, so here you can see it kind of doesn't look too nice, but you have that knot. You can usually turn that in on itself if you get those, and then it doesn't look so bad. So let's see if I can hide it. There you go. See? I don't know how well you could see that, but you could just turn knots in on the inside, and then they're not so unsightly. But yeah, let me know, how often do you do a project? Now, some of you said you just started. Oh, I started looming last week. Started completely? All right, we'll wrap this off and pick again. So where do you buy your looms? Do you get them from Hobby Lobby? Do you buy the Boy brand from Walmart? This is a Nifty Knitter loom. They were a company that was based here in Utah. They quit the product line. The main company was called Provo Craft, and they ditched all of their products and went 100% with scrapbooking supplies. So, but you can still get similar looms to this on Amazon and eBay. Walmart. Weekly. Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. I don't know if I'll be able to, you know, keep weekly going initially. Just because, like I said, this doesn't provide enough. My brother and I have a business, and we're trying to make YouTube something we can do 100% of the time, but we're not there yet. My brother has a woodworking channel, and then I have some home repair channels and car repair channels. This is probably the weirdest, at least for a guy to be doing. Not a normal guy thing. I don't care, you know. Doesn't bug me, but I get that it's not something most guys do. I'm secure in my manhood, though. I'm not worried. Walmart, Michaels, and sometimes Amazon. So how many looms are you buying? Because, I mean, you usually get like 4 sets. Do you just have a bunch? Or do you have like friends come over and then they've got a loom to use? Yeah, I don't like the Walmart ones either. That's the Boy brand, and they kind of have that that notch that catches every time. I know some people say that they're used to it or that you just gotta do it a certain way, but I like not doing it a certain way. Hobby Lobby looms are pretty good. They're a lot like the Nifty Knitter brand. The pegs are almost identical, even though they use a different colored plastic. And then there was a brand called In the Attic, and those were rubber looms. So they bent and kind of, you know, they would never break, but if you wrapped your yarn too tight, then it would distort your work. I think they even had a glow-in-the-dark loom. That was another company based in Utah. I've known 4 round loom companies based in Utah. One of them just had everything made in China. They were the ones that's Nifty Knitter. So, Granny Lala, I'm guessing you're a grandma. You can't fault me if you're not, because that's what your name says. But if you have any kids or grandkids that are between the ages of 5 and probably 14 or 15, there's the Minecraft beanie hat. The Minecraft Creeper Beanie Hat Project. If you're looking for gifts, homemade gifts to give, that one would be a very popular one. I got one from Walmart, but then I went to Michael's. I bought the hairpin lace looms from Amazon. That's not exactly like this. Yeah, 15, 11, and 8. I bet you if you showed them that, if you're looking for a project to do, I'm not trying to put, you know, no pressure, but if you showed them that beanie hat, I bet you at least 2 out of the 3 grandkids would want one. Just saying. My son likes his. Minecraft is insanely popular. It's a video game that it's kind of like Legos and a computer game. So you're just stacking blocks. As far as video games, it's probably one of the most tame, peaceful ones you're going to find nowadays. A My Little Pony hat. Wonder how that would look. Do horse ears and a mane? Maybe a pink one? Pink? They'd just be kind of like kitty ears, I guess. Animal ears. I was thinking of doing something like that. Doing a beanie hat with ears on the top. Haven't totally figured out how I'd do it. I know you can do it with normal knitting needles or crochet. So I might mess around with something like that. This hook needs a longer handle. It's starting to bother me right there. And here we go. I think I'm going to do maybe one more row, and then I'm going to call it a night or a day. It's still somewhat light out here. So here we go. My husband and I were in a bad accident and are both disabled. Oh, I'm sorry. So I need a hobby and didn't know which way to go. I like looming the best. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's, I think the word's cathartic, just relaxing, and you can watch TV. You don't have to really pay attention. You can just put it down and pick up right where you left off. Small enough that you can travel. It's cheap. And you make stuff. So yeah, it is a pretty good hobby. Keeps your hands nimble. Now I've got some other things. Maybe I'll do another video of some of the tools that you can use. I have a few of those already, but maybe I'll make some more. Round loom knitting tools. Okay, I think I'm done now, for now anyway, but thank you for watching. Like I said, send that message in the about with your address, and I'll get you a pick tool. And we will pick up, I'm going to, the next YouTube streaming hangout will be when I start the heel of the stocking. So I'm going to make this a little bit longer, and then we'll do the heel, and then we'll finish it up in another video. So, but I've been knitting and talking for an hour and 15 minutes now, so I am done. But thanks for watching, and hopefully see you around. Let's see, I've got some last comments here. Thanks a bunch. You're welcome, Digits. And Gracie, keeps my mind off pain. My oldest grandson loves the beanie I made yesterday. He better. Christmas is coming up and he needs to keep Granny happy. Well, thank you, and have a good evening and Merry Christmas. And we'll talk to you again. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the help. Bye.